Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on Up with KREM. It is 6 o'clock in the morning on this fine Tuesday morning. My name is Christian Garza. I am filling in for Tim and Nicole this whole week. So unfortunately, you're stuck with me, but not just me. That's also meteorologist Thomas Patrick as well, a very familiar face, and also the bearer of bad news. Thomas, do you want to go ahead and tell everybody?
I think some people, what's that, Christian?
Right.
I think some people wanted rain for Christmas.
I don't know. I don't know if it fits into the Hallmark fantasy, but go on ahead.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I always like to say this. If you want a white Christmas, we've got mountains, and there's always snow on the mountains. Maybe not as much as they would like, as we know that some ski resorts are still lagging behind, don't quite have those bases. But there is snow in our mountains. It is not going to happen in the lowlands, though, this year. Even right now, our low temperatures did not even get down to 32 degrees. Remember, our average lows are well into the 20s this time of year. Our average high temperature is 33 degrees, and we've been above that this morning. It's already 35 in Spokane, should get into the low 40s this afternoon. It is just quite simply too warm for snow, even at about 40 degrees. And that's where we'll stay today and actually through Christmas.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Thomas. Well, right now we're looking at I-90 in Division here for traffic. As you can see, more people out on the roadways, maybe going to work, maybe starting that holiday travel. Roadways are clear and bare for those who are planning on traveling today. Here on Up with KREM, we bring you weather and traffic together every 30 minutes. Well, the man accused of a drive-by shooting outside of the Globe Bar in 2024 has been found not guilty on all charges. Moses Adedeji has been acquitted on 2 counts of attempted murder and first-degree assault after the July 2024 shooting. Now, he was arrested in North Carolina months later by U.S. Marshals as he was returning home from the United Kingdom. Now, police allege that Adedeji shot 2 people following the fight. The case went to the jury on Friday, and yesterday they returned those not guilty verdicts. While a woman is facing second-degree murder charges after allegedly killing a man on the Spokane reservation. According to court documents, 37-year-old Delilah Axtell is accused of stabbing a man to death in Welpinit. The Spokane Tribal Police say they found the 40-year-old man dead at a home back in October. The victim's identity has not been released just yet. If convicted, she could spend the rest of her life behind bars. And a woman who police say called and confessed to killing her father has been found competent to stand trial. Police say 31-year-old Alyssa Bradburn shot her father in June of last year at their home. She then called the police to turn herself in. Bradburn now faces first-degree murder charges. She is expected to appear in court on February 2nd. The Whitman County Sheriff's Office is investigating what they say may be human remains near Colfax. The Sheriff's Office says the remains were found in a remote area along South Palouse River Road. They say because of decomposition, it's not possible to determine the sex or identity of the person who died. The Washington State Patrol Crime Lab is helping with this case. The memorial continues to grow this morning in Western Washington for fallen Washington State Trooper Tara Marissa Gooding. As you can see, her patrol car covered in flowers, leis, and a license plate from her home state of Hawaii. Now, the search is still on for this truck on your screen. Investigators say a dark-colored pickup truck struck the trooper on State Route 509 near the Port of Tacoma and then kept driving south without stopping.
She's gone out and handled 1,000 of these crashes, right? And unfortunately, this time she didn't get to go home. And we need to solve this crime.
Now, they are reminding people that tips are anonymous and the smallest details can bring someone to justice. As we enter the holiday season, troopers are asking drivers to slow down and remember that first responders are simply working to protect the roads. More families in Western Washington are finally heading home just in time for Christmas. Auburn was among the hardest hit by flooding last week, but now the American Red Cross is winding down emergency operations at the Auburn Community Center. At its peak, there were 85 people staying at the shelter. Now, about 35 people are being moved into hotel rooms. The goal is to get them into permanent housing by next month.
We want people to be comfortable, and we know it's the holidays. We want to make sure that people are able to celebrate even in some of their darkest times.
Meanwhile, water levels on the Green and White rivers are going down. The city of Auburn is now considering removing more evacuation warnings in several areas, including along Green River Road.
Time is 6:05 as we take another look at our weather forecast today. I am tracking some rainfall for the next 3 days in a row. As we look at things right now, it's just mostly cloudy over Spokane, but Doppler radar is starting to see the shades of some very light rain, light showers near the Lewiston area. So from Lewiston to Orofino and up to Elk River, very, very light streaks of showers, almost just sprinkles at the moment. But this is the wave that I will track into the evening that will ultimately give us some light rain around Spokane. Another day in the low 40s, and it actually gets warmer between now and Christmas. Hence, only the rain forecast and no snow at low elevations. Bodes well for travelers, though. Coming up, we'll show you that Christmas Day forecast and how much rain we're expecting in these next 3 days.
Thank you so much, Thomas. Well, if you've moved before, you know it can be stressful, and sometimes we don't even think about packing some of the food in our pantries. Well, one nonprofit is making sure that that food doesn't go to waste. Move for Hunger started as a way to give those non-perishables a second life by being donated. Now the organization is helping local communities with the help of movers.
Part of my job is going out day to day, walking through a customer's house, and that's when I bring it up. If you have any need to, donate food, this is part of our process.
They then gather up the food and donate it to local churches and food banks. Collectively, Move for Hunger's partners have donated more than 88,000 pounds of food in Idaho, feeding more than 70,000 people. This holiday season, you and your neighbor could be shopping for the same thing online, but paying different prices. Now, you can blame surveillance pricing for that. This is when retailers use personal data to nudge a price up or down using information from your Amazon cart, Uber rides, or even the device that you're shopping on. Unfortunately, there isn't much that you can do to stop surveillance pricing, but using a private browser is definitely one strategy, though some say there are actually some benefits to this type of pricing.
Personalized pricing can benefit consumers through individualized discounts or loyalty programs that reward consumers for repeat business.
Currently, there is no federal regulation for companies using surveillance pricing. Well, if you didn't win the Powerball, don't worry because nobody else did either. That means that the jackpot has jumped to $1.7 billion. That's with a B. Now, the next drawing is tomorrow night. And who wouldn't want to wake up on Christmas as a billionaire or maybe even a millionaire, because the cash value is actually $781 million.